should see us there. And it does, it does, it does. Okay, now Facebook. Facebook. Okay, upcoming events, Monday Night Mixer. Invite, share notification settings, duplicate. Can I stream live? Out of here. Or do I have to boost event? I guess. Okay. I have to go to live video and go live. And streaming software. Copy to Control paste. Start. And then there it is. What's my video about? Copy. Okay. Yes, go live button. I love that go live button. Okay, so this one I'm gonna tear out of here. I'm gonna put up actually over on this side over here. You can see the chats coming in. And then this side we're gonna put this. Okay, and then this one we're gonna put over here like that. Nope, that's not what we wanted to do. No. Where did it go? Oh, producer, where's the producer? Right there. Okay, that's what I want. I don't want that there. I want that there. Okay. Okay, 1 and 2 are going, right? Okay, save and close. And then more pages. No. Yeah, we'll just go live at 6:30. I know. All right, let's bring this other one up. Chat, and then this will be the Zoom meeting. No, this will be rack 4. Like it's either this one. Nope. Rack 4. This one. Yes. No. It's not the one we want. Actually, that would work, but I wanted the other one. So 3. This one. Yes. Because this way we can have chat GTP or something up. And then that's the one. That's another video source. Right? And we can bring this up. Boink. Okay. Actually, let's use Google. Hello. Oh yeah, get some camera shots here, eh? Okay, cam 3. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-bum. Cam 4. And we don't want that far out. Zoom out. Wrong way. Okay, then cam 5. Zoom out. Oh, that's in. Zoom out. Okay. And then zoom in. And then over. And then up. And then I can go, hi. Hi. Yep. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, babies. And then let's bring up manager. Okay. Participants. Camera control. Okay. Well, because I got Google, so I can bring that up. And then I've got the Zoom call, which we can bring that up. If anybody logs in. And we'll see. Okay. Alex. Oh. Oh, I hate lavaliers. Yeah, loves. They're always scratching against something, you know? Always scratching. Check, 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 1, 2. Especially if you got loose clothing. And I think they blew both of these speakers out here, Alex. Yeah. Let's see. I keep having somebody from Thrivent show up. At least that's what they're saying. So if you're there, Thrivent, turn your camera and mic on. Huh. That's interesting. Excellent connection. Let's take a look. What has that got there? 2.5. 1.5. Stop this. Should do 2.5. Start. Okay, it updated finally. That's weird. Yeah. Okay. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I don't know if vMix inside or Zoom inside vMix is going to work for this. I think I'm going to have to do Zoom just on another laptop because it's not acting right. It's acting weird. 3 minutes. Check, check, check. Okay. Now we're sending audio out here, so if anybody's watching, dial in on Zoom. We can start a conversation. Some more people are going to be showing up here. We're going to have a little discussion about events in the world and hopefully look at more of the positive things that are going on and see where we're at. So I hope you can all join the conversation, and whether you come in virtually via Zoom, the meeting ID and password are scrolling underneath you there. They're also in the invitation there on Facebook and YouTube. So hope you can make it. I'm going to try to put some music on.
Checkity check, 1, 2.
Check, check, check. Okay. Talk to me once.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Check.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Those are live.
The person labeled as Thrivent would please reveal their identity.
No, they haven't revealed.
We would all
their
appreciate
identity.
it.
Zoom, Thrivent. Yeah. Not sure who that is. They should be on. Yeah. So these are the live streams. Comments there from Facebook and YouTube. And let me just go in here. So, oops, wrong screen. Bum, 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 bum. So let's see. Monday Night Mixer, 35 people responded. I just did this afternoon, so 2 going, and a bunch of people interested. So let's see if some more people show up here. Yeah, Michelle's in. She's trying to join. Hey, Michelle, can you hear us? Oh, no, she's not in. She tried to. We should hear her when people come in. Actually, I'm not like, let me check something here. Make sure I'm not missing requests for people to join the meeting. Yeah. Oh. Private. on a second. That's this machine. That's weird. Okay. I know who Thriving is now. Michelle tried to show up, and then she left.
I had my phone again. So I took a photo of it. Here. It's like that. It's just like a little yeah.
Okay, Michelle's gonna log back in. And we'll see if the switching works this time. All right, I'm gonna text Gorski, have him log in. This all might be an experiment, but that's okay. Uh,
I can't even feel like that creeping back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. It's just noticed.
And Robin just is such scary, doesn't
oh yeah. All right, well, we got one person on YouTube. So, all right, so 2 people on Facebook. Hey, how's it going out there? Charles? Okay. Yep. Yep. House pig. Huh. Okay. You guys want to turn your mics on? Start talking to these guys. We got a couple people online watching from Grand Meadow, Minnesota. Yep. What's that? Yeah, I think you got it. Turn it back on. Check, check, check. Can you hear us out there?
So they should be able to
Yep.
answer, and then we should hear them through the.
Yeah. We're turning the other mics on, so they'll talk. That's all right. I'll get some more batteries for it when we need to. It should be working.
Yeah, it's just blinking.
Oh, is it blinking? I'll get you some new batteries. Talk to him, Alex.
So, yeah. Did he say Grand Meadow, Minnesota? Grand Meadow, maybe. Metal would be cooler. That's cool. I can't see how. Oh, here we go. Right, is it the same right here?
You can
That's
see
Charles.
You can
Good
see the
evening.
chats there. Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Oh, Grand Meadow. There it is.
So yeah,
Okay.
Charles, he can hear me watching from Grand Meadow, Minnesota. And then, hey, how's everybody doing out there today? And
Yes, Grand Meadow, Minnesota. Cool. He got
yes.
it.
Awesome.
So is Charles a friend of yours that you invited to this?
No,
Totally random. Cool. Well, welcome, Charles.
He can hear me. Actually, a house pig. I'm not sure who that is, but he seems to know who I am. That's a good name.
Yeah.
So we've got one on Facebook and one on YouTube.
Rock and
That's
roll.
That's where we're starting it out.
Right.
So we're doing this interactive thing so we can talk to everybody and we can have conversations about, whatever we need to have conversations about. And then, we can switch up different cams here and stuff so people can check stuff out. So what do you guys want to talk about? So what should the conversation be about tonight? You guys are
I
up
wish
to,
there was something going on in the world.
up to
It's
different
just
stuff?
been so boring.
Yeah, not much going on in the world, huh? So is there a particular subject everybody wants to talk about? I'm the guy that filmed the Savage Royal hotcakes. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I need to get video from you. My recordings were all messed up. So I got your email, but I've been so busy. So we should connect. We're trying to do this interactive thing here. And so the way we've got this set up, maybe we can talk about that. So the setup here is we got vMix here switching and then streaming live out to YouTube and Facebook. And then up on the big screen, let me bring that back up.
What is vMix for those who haven't heard of it?
vMix is a video production software that you can use to do all your switching and overlays and all that other stuff. And that's what's doing the scroll on the bottom and the logo on the top and all that stuff.
It's also an OBS, right?
It's no, we're not doing OBS.
Is it open broadcast?
Yeah, OBS is a free version of. It's similar to OBS, but it's much better. So on the big screen there is the Zoom call. So if you guys want to zoom in and meet with us, the info is there, the meeting ID. and the password are there. Zoom in so we can talk to you via Zoom as well. It'll be more interactive that way, so that you guys can see what's going on.
Charles says he uses Restream.
Yeah, Restream is good. If you want to go to more, with vMix, you can stream out to 3 different locations. And if you're going to a bunch more locations, we may do that too, stream out. And so with this software, you can do the lower thirds and all that fun stuff as well. And yeah, so what we want to do is every Monday, we're going to be doing these interactive, what we're calling open casts. Here, let me cut back. It's already on me. Well, we're doing open casts. So podcasts are kind of like closed. I think about, being in a pod, and a lot of podcasts are being siloed. So you got the conservative podcasts, you got the liberal podcasts. This isn't going to be about any of that stuff. As a matter of fact, we want to try to keep it positive. There's a lot of places that you can get all your political news, and there's certain podcasts that deal with certain issues. We actually want to kind of talk more about positive things that are going on in our communities and with your lives. So we can talk to Alex. Alex is the guy on the left there. He's got a lot of positive things going on in his life. Alex, you were helping your dad this morning, and you went to a concert last night. And what other things have you been up to?
I was down in Jacksonville, Florida, visiting some friends for a long weekend. And I saw some live music down there as well.
Awesome.
So that's pretty positive.
Awesome.
Weather was decent, wasn't too hot, wasn't too humid.
Cool.
So it was cool. I get a little tropics in before the snow hits.
Awesome.
I had something really positive happen.
Let me
Today.
pass it to Nate here. Nate?
I was listening to a podcast or like a YouTube clip about a flat earther and a heliocentric person, like kind of a debate. And they're talking about how planets, like the ancients would watch the stars and the planets, if you look at them from, if say there was a flat earth, the planets, their orbits don't make any sense. You can track it, but it's not like, it's like really complex for it to make sense how they move in the sky if the earth was. And the heliocentric guy I'd never thought of that before, but I was like, wow, what a perfect explanation for why the earth is not flat. So it's like a really short way of telling people this proves the earth isn't flat. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. So
I'm kind of joking because it's like that was a cool whatever, but
yeah.
I'm trying to keep it light.
And we got Michelle on Zoom. Hey, Michelle, do you want to unmute your camera and your microphone? And come on in, we can talk to you.
No.
You don't? Well, you can just do your microphone. You don't want to do your camera, but at least we can hear you now. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Well, thanks
All right.
thanks.
I'll just add the video here.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. It's good to see you.
Hi.
How have you been?
Good.
Yeah? Awesome. Well, this is our first experiment in what we're calling open casting, where it's open to other people to come and join us. And any suggestions you actually have too for content as far as subject matter that you want to talk about or something like that? It might be music in your case, because I know you're a total music nerd. Have you seen it?
I go to a lot of shows.
Yeah, you go to a lot of live shows. So what was the last live show you went to?
I went to La Femme at the Fine Line. They're a French band. I think they're like one of the most famous bands in France.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Was it a good show?
Yeah. If I wouldn't have gotten there too late, it would have been great. But I was at another show prior. So much for not going to enough shows. But some friends of mine have a studio in their basement, and they had a bunch of bands playing.
How do you guys know each other?
Fantastic. Just in the music scene. I mean, we're kind of periphery. I don't know her, but she's a friend of friends. So Yeah, been around. I see her around at all sorts of live gigs and stuff like that. So it's fun. So what else have you been up to, Michelle?
Well, I'm a new real estate agent, so that's something completely new.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What does the outlook for real estate look like here?
That's a big question. Pretty much, the rates are going down currently. I have no idea what's going to happen. A lot of people were waiting for the election to happen before they made a move. There's not a lot of inventory. There's very low inventory in real estate because people are, either they got a good rate during COVID and they're not budging, or they can't afford to move right now because of the rates and the prices of homes are going to continue going up.
Yeah.
So, but we think it's going to be a good 2025, so. I think
Awesome.
and if you wanted to move, I would do it now before January 6th, but
Yeah.
no one knows what'll happen.
Yeah, most definitely. Was it, yeah, I'm trying to, there's plenty of places to talk politics and all the other stuff, and I'm trying to keep this open cast a lot more, talk about different things versus all the shit people are concerned with right now, which, more good things happen in life than bad things. And I think there's a lot of emphasis on all the negative stuff going on. It's stuff to be aware of, obviously, but there's a lot of other places that you can be aware of that. So, yeah, I want this podcast to be more about meeting other people in the community and, talking with other people and learning about what's going on in their community. So, what are some of the cool music things coming up, Michelle, that you might be heading off to? We should know about.
Yeah, I mean, I have to look at my calendar, but I know, so my friends who had this party last weekend in Columbia Heights, they call their party or their address Crumbling Heights, and the Sex Rays played along with the Hobbled and a couple of other bands that I can't think of right now, but they always record everything and they post it on YouTube on their YouTube channel, which is super cool. And I know their band is called the Fauchés, and they're just delightful. I think they're playing maybe the night before Thanksgiving at Mortimer's, but I can't remember.
What day is that?
It's Wednesday. Let me look. It's Wednesday the night before Thanksgiving.
Night before Thanksgiving. Awesome.
Is the night before Thanksgiving, or is it the night after Thanksgiving when we were in college and we'd go home and we'd see all our friends at the bar, and it was like the best? It's the night before Thanksgiving, so that would be a great time to go down to Mortimer's.
Yeah, it could be a good time
and
to
see
go down
people
to
you
Mortimer's.
grew up with.
Yeah.
Yep, my friend's band, The Unnamed, they're playing, and El Drifte, they're a local band, and I can forget the singer's name, but I think he's doing really well for himself. He does a country rock kind of thing, and I'm not into really country music, but what he does is really interesting and fun to listen to.
Cool. Super cool. Cool. Well, John Bryn just walked in here too, and he does all the stuff down at the schooner. So let's give John a mic and see what John's up to.
Who is everybody?
Well,
Are we?
this is Michelle here, and you got Alex, and we got a few people online.
Where's the chief curmudgeon?
We're Steve McClellan isn't here, so he
I'm-
might join us via Zoom. I'm hoping more people show up. I mean, this is our first one, and we're kind of experimenting with the technology. So, Michelle, thanks for dialing in. We get more people to dial in remotely because, especially, it's kind of rainy out there right now. So, we got a few people online. So, we're streaming live to Facebook, and we're also streaming live to YouTube. And as we go forward, we'll be streaming to more different places and stuff like that. So, John,
Yes.
we go back a long time from CCO and all that other stuff, but right now you're doing stuff at the schooner, right? Your girlfriend owns the schooner.
Yeah. Wendy is a tremendous owner, and I've been helping her for at least 12 years with the sound and tech stuff and lighting, and recently doing band booking to help her. It's really turned out to be at the point now where after COVID and riots, we ended up, we found out that people are going to bed sooner than they planned on. So the bands no longer wanted to play at 9 o'clock till 1 a.m. because they'd get home at 3 o'clock in the morning and have to work the next day. And they got used to sleeping, truly. I mean, I spent a lot of time in bed. Didn't really help. Gained some weight. Ended up with long COVID.
Yeah.
However, when we started music again, there were a number of groups that were sort of afraid to come back into the routine.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of the vaccine, deathly, scare. Well, what's going to happen to me if I go out in the public? Some people didn't, just gave up. They hung up the spikes on playing musical instruments
Yeah.
or being in bands, period. So there was this huge lull of people not able to go to venues. The clubs weren't making any money whatsoever. There was a huge impact on bars and restaurants. People were at home because they were receiving the unemployment from the state, and then the businesses, which were fortunate enough to get PCP. Oh no, what is it? Not PCP. What was that? POS. The governmental, the money. Yeah, they weren't able to. Well, they didn't really have to do anything except for try to keep their businesses afloat. But so many people lost their income, and then we found that there were so many groups that literally dissolved, and then there was attrition with older musicians. They hung up the spikes or quit playing. Bands stopped, and there were not that many bands that wanted to play.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the bands that did want to play were not making any money.
Yeah.
Because they were not financially supplying the government with their tax income, so they received less money because they were playing for cash at a lot of gigs. So fast forward, being that there were limitations on how many people could be in the clubs, also how much that affected the audience as well. Not too many people were going. And then, Stuart, you and I started doing the streaming thing over there, and that was in conjunction to sort of get people to get music in their bedrooms, literally.
Yeah.
And so we sort of made this beta test point there, right?
Yeah.
Which still is in existence, and we did full shows. People enjoyed it, but there was truly no way to monetize it. But that helped generate a lot of interest and got people involved that were not able to go or didn't want to go remotely, or were hampered by the lockdowns. So consequently, we reduced the amount. There were more people that came out eventually, but it did take a long time. There were a couple of other shutdowns, and then we got angry. People got angry.
Yeah.
Tonight, driving down here, people were angry. They drive their cars, and the light turns green, and the people behind are tailgating and going and beeping their horns and cutting in front on a rainy night. And I'm like, what happened? We're angry.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think that you're not angry, you're angry.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is why we want to try to, talk about other things, because I think there's been a lot of hate and anger, and we want to kind of move things in a different direction and just kind of like get to know people and do new things that are a little different, like these open casts, right? We just want to sit around and kind of talk about different subjects and stuff like that. So Any recommendations for subjects that people might want to talk about, please chat us up. Maybe we'll do some more on music, and we do some music shows and stuff like that. But this is also kind of an experiment to see, how this technology is going to work. And, as I'm coining the phrase open casting, just try to make it open to as many people as can participate as possible. No matter what their, beliefs might be, just getting together and meet new people and try to connect with people you wouldn't normally connect with. So I did a very bad job of marketing this. I basically put out invites, this afternoon. And so as we move forward, every Monday at 6:30, Michelle, if you can pass the word too, I'll be doing up invites here on a regular basis. So moving forward, we should get some more traction going forward. So that'll be good.
I'm sorry, I missed the previous person that was on remotely.
Nate?
No,
No, Michelle. She's
Michelle. Oh, she's
here.
here.
She's here. Yeah.
Oh, well, pleased to meet you.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am in Cloquet, but don't worry. Don't worry, your message will get through to me. You just got to leave it on this recording now.
Is this
And if
Steve?
this is a robocall, hang up.
What do we tell Steve?
Steve McClellan,
Steve McClellan, you're,
an old curmudgeon.
yes, we are live on MCN6 and also on YouTube. We'd love to have you join us. Please do.
Yeah, he can't figure that shit out.
No, he can barely answer the telephone.
Hey, Michelle, how does our audio sound coming back to you? Do we sound okay?
You sound great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I listen to YouTube and Facebook, and somebody's saying there's echo on YouTube, but I'm not hearing. I'm hearing Facebook and YouTube sounded good, so we'll scrutinize that some more. But the Zoom sounds okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So, any other ideas you guys have? So right now I have YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom, so people can dial in and kind of interact in real time, and then other people can watch, on YouTube and Facebook. And then I also have I can switch a web browser out here so that we can search things online and talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about. And then we can, use AI to fact check things or whatever we want to do in that regard. And I'm trying to make this as open and accessible as possible. Is there any other thoughts or ideas on how we might be able to do that?
Tag and more tagging. This sounds like this one's Sandy.
Yeah, there
Is that
might
me?
be.
It's probably me.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're cheap. They're cheap wireless mics.
I have a question for Michelle.
Yeah.
Where are you located right now?
I'm just north of Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. And I caught the tail end when you were on. If you wouldn't mind repeating just a little bit of who you are, so we know, or at least I would know.
Yeah, I've lived here off and on for my whole life. I've lived in different parts of the country, but I'm friends with a lot of artists and musicians locally. And I go to a lot of shows. Now I'm a real estate agent, and I was just mentioning a show that's happening in town at Mortimer's on the night before Thanksgiving as something fun in town to do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Thanksgiving is, it's traditionally busy the day before because people show up. Also, actually, Christmas, the day after Christmas is usually very busy as well because people just want to get away from their families.
Yeah, I'm going to have at my place, I'm going to have a little Thanksgiving dessert. So pies and champagne and wine and whiskey
Paisanos.
and all that stuff.
And you'll be having another birthday party as well?
Yes, we're having another SAG party December 14th.
I'll put that in my calendar right
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
So a SAG party here at the station at MCN6. All Sagittarius and all others are welcome, but Sagittarius are the sign. So all those other signs can show up and stuff, but we don't really care about that.
Mark it in my calendar.
So, Yeah, so as far as the schooner, do you got any, like, you know the schedule? Who's coming up with the bands and
There's
stuff?
a lot.
Yeah.
And leading back into that, is it's turned into, well, as I was explaining earlier, the band times now on weekends, they used to be 9 till like 1 a.m. And now the band times on Fridays and Saturdays are 8 o'clock till 11:30.
Yeah,
Everybody's enjoying it. They can get out and still have a fun time, get a couple of sets in. Wednesday, so the schooner has music Sundays, which is an open music jam, where anybody is invited to play whatever they want. It's not a blues jam; it's an everything jam. And then Wednesdays is from 7:30 till 10:30. No, 7:30 till 10 o'clock. Our variety of bands. First Wednesday of the month is open and generally bringing in one group to play 2 sets.
sure.
And then we have regular rotation. The Swamp Papas, they do Cajun music. Then the second one, I have to look at the calendar. Oh, Connor McCrae Trio typically. And then the third or the last is BZ3 Organ Trio with some monster players, Brian Z. And David Feely on guitar, fantastic. And Kevin Washington, who is just a phenomenal drummer. And then on Thursdays, we go with 2 groups at 7 o'clock till 10 p.m. And that's typically, we call it the new Fridays.
Yeah,
Thursdays have become the new Fridays.
yeah.
And it's cool. Scott Allen and the List play there. There, I can't even tell you how many groups play. Edie Ray. We've had Rude Girl playing there. They're a great band.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down Saturday and see them.
Yeah.
Jesse's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, she
so,
plays in a couple of other groups as well.
Yeah,
13 Howl, 5 Cent Reality.
I think she's the lead singer. I think you're thinking the bass player.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Jojo.
JoJo?
Jojo. Lolo's Ghost plays. It's just
Cool. So I have a question for
Yeah,
you.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
And Michelle, you can ring in on this too, because I know like before COVID, I think it was Maggie McPherson that down at the old Uptown Bar a long time ago that started doing shows. They started closing the bar down at like 11:30, 12 o'clock and doing earlier shows. Have you seen that more? Pretty much with all the clubs coming around, they're doing earlier shows, so people aren't out until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning? Or is that, yeah? Is that something that, because I know like 331 down the street here from us, they still go till, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning with their shows. They also have early shows though too. They have 2 shows a night, most nights. So
It's
I guess you can do the early and the late show. So yeah, just curious. That's a trend you're seeing around then, Michelle, with most of the bars or a lot of the bars?
Pretty much. I mean, honestly, you're right. After COVID, I don't go out as much as I used to, and I'm glad that it's earlier now because I've gotten busier, and I don't want to be out as late. I don't feel super safe as out at late at night anymore. Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
so it's nice that it's there earlier, so
Yeah.
everyone can go to bed.
Yeah. Get up early and get to work.
if you have a job.
Very Minnesotan, getting back to work.
Are there any comments here? I can't really.
Yeah,
Read
there are
them.
comments. I can read some of the comments to you
Sure.
here. There aren't any real new ones. Some
Oh.
guys, whereas Neil, yeah, we don't have anybody online right now. So we have to do a little better marketing. I have to do a little better marketing.
Well, you're overwhelmed.
As far as, I got a lot of irons in the fire, that's for sure. But this is one that's, as far as the station goes, the TV station, and I guess I've been, let me switch this over here. We'll go to the wide shot. I've been running this station now for coming up on 4 years. That's the wrong shot. Come on. I didn't get a chance to program up all my buttons, but what I'm trying to do here is using the technology to try to like bring people together, and not in a way that, you know, the traditional media brings people together where, you know, when we worked at CCO, what was the saying in the news?
If it bleeds, it leads.
Exactly, yeah. And so there's so many outlets that do the if it bleeds, it leads type scenario. And we just don't want to, I don't want to do that. I really want to, you know, and for this is the first time we're kind of testing it out and stuff like that. And I think next time I'll have like a subject that we'll talk about, and then maybe somebody to come in and talk specifically about it that knows something about it, whatever that might be. So any recommendations that people might have as far as, you know, what we could talk about. And then different issues. Might be, you know, not Bitcoin, but cryptocurrencies, right? And Alex knows a little bit about cryptocurrencies. You've been doing some research, haven't you, Alex, on cryptocurrencies?
No,
You haven't been doing research on
but
cryptocurrencies?
I just been kind of following this Elon takeover
Yeah.
and just kind of.
I thought you were
So I
gonna
just bought a bunch of Dogecoin.
bought a bunch of Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
have
see
no
how
idea.
Got a
what
bunch
that
of
is.
Tesla stock.
it's another cryptocurrency. It's like Bitcoin, but
Yeah.
it's a different Bitcoin.
When you say a bunch,
10,000.
10,000
10,000
bits?
coins.
10,000 coins? And what do they cost? What do they?
I got 10,000 for 4,000.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's, you know, our future of retirement, apparently.
Yeah,
Things
it could
are
be.
going.
It could be very much. Hey, look at that. There's John Gorski.
I mean, we don't
John
really
Gorski
know.
joined us.
Oh, John.
Yeah.
John's here.
No.
Welcome. We don't really know what's in store in the future. We're right now, I don't want to get too political, but we are.
I like the star. Is Alex Yember really the star of the show?
Yeah, Alex and
a
John
new
are the stars of
age.
the store. We
That's
just
the
had
station.
John Gorski joining us. John.
Welcome,
And there's Paula in the background. No, you're getting a little echo back from you. Hopefully the echo thing. John Gorski joining us. John. And there's Paula in the background. You got a live stream going on there, John, too?
I think he doesn't have
Getting a little echo back from you. Hopefully the
mix minus is not on his end.
Yeah, he's listening to the live stream.
John brought the party.
Yeah.
There he, yeah,
Well,
that's better. You shut something off.
I had the page open on Facebook.
Yeah, that would explain it. Yeah. If you're watching the live stream and zooming in, so. John Gorski, we were just talking about cryptocurrencies. You own any Bitcoin or Dogecoin or any of the other stuff? I think Nate owns some.
It's just the latest version of the lottery that rich people are inflicting on the common poor of the United States.
The blue sky movie.
You know, first it was Las Vegas and the casinos where people were too stupid to understand what's going on. And then it was the lottery, which is just a regressive tax on the poor. And then we go to cryptocurrency because they're trying to expand the poor element to the middle class.
Yeah. Well,
So ask me how I really feel about it.
Well, I believe that we're all student drivers right now.
all student drivers.
We don't know what's happening or what's going to happen. And things are happening so quickly that we can't absorb. And that goes to your point about what you want to have for subject matter. I believe being a former network cameraman and producer, whatever you want to call it, you know, I've done a lot on the national and local level. The television industry has totally changed nowadays. It's, as we said, if it bleeds, it leads, but then they drop everything off. There is no follow-up any longer. There is no long-term format that people are informed about what happened in, 1980 to catch up to what's happened today.
Yeah.
You know, what are the eventual outcomes of what laws and what people have done, even 2 months ago, because everything's been ramped up, need immediate results. That's why people are honking their cars, throwing the fingers at each other. Even if you're feeling that you should be nice and kind, you still get that anger. And anger is a problem in our country.
Well, and this is what I'm trying to do is like communicate, everybody calm down, like let's talk amongst ourselves, let's get people of divergent opinions to come together and have these conversations. And one of the things that you look at the technology and the podcasting and the influence that the podcasting and streaming have had, and I don't want to get overly political, because there's a lot of places where you can go and you can watch whatever it is you're going to watch. But the long form podcasts, like Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, some of the ones that I watch also, Joe Rogan has 55 million followers. CBS on a good night, John, what will they get? 3 million, 4 million people on a good night?
I don't know the network numbers.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Network, but a local, well, okay, say Joe Rogan's got, would you say you got 50 million viewers?
55 million viewers, yeah.
Okay, well, make numbers easy. There's there's a little more, but let's say there's 300 million people in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So 50 million would be 25% of that.
Yeah.
50.
No, it would be less than that, because there's 335 million.
Well, I don't know why I'm thinking my calculator is right here.
Yeah, so it'd be a third of that. So it'd be 7 million.
I was never good at math.
Yeah, he's doing his math, yeah. So
but call it 16% of the U.S.
60% of the U.S., yeah.
Right. Okay. 50 million would be 16% of the U.S. And there are easily, let's just take the top 50. How can I make the math easy here? Take the top 60 broadcast markets and say that they got 20 million people. So that on average, in the top 60 broadcast markets, they would have I'm sorry. You got 50 million people, viewers.
Yeah.
Let's divide them by 60, so there's 833,000 in each of the top 60 markets. I don't think I'm doing that right, because I think it's smaller than that. When because you figure CCO, KSTP, CARE, Fox, each get maybe, heck, if they average about let's say a 10 rating in their 10 o'clock news, a 10 rating would be roughly 70,000 homes.
Okay.
That's not very many.
Well, there's 3 people per home, so on average, 3 or 4 people per home. Nationwide, what are we looking at there, just to distill it down?
Well, I don't know what the figures are for national, but I would imagine that
Probably around 10 million total.
well, if the local stations are doing a 10 rating and delivering 70,000 homes,
You're talking 60 markets, right? 70 times 60.
4.5 million.
Yeah. 500,000 homes times, let's say, 4 people. So you're looking at, 2 million people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big disparity.
That's a very big disparity. And to your point, talking about, media and, the traditional media has died in a lot of ways. And new media, podcasting, and now this new thing we're going to be doing called open casting. That everybody's talking about, right?
Talk to me about it.
Is going to be the wave of the future. And so, with this interactivity, right, being able to have people join us remotely, streaming live. And actually, I want to bring something up because I think this is congruent with what we're talking about here. Because I was just talking to a friend about this here, and I'll bring it up on the web. But it's basically Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and you guys can see it there on the screen. We were just talking about, community and building community and the different things in community that as an individual you need. So the physiological needs of like breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, and sleep. And then safety and security. And Michelle, you were talking about this. You were feeling not safe going out with safety and security. Which impacts our community, because if Michelle doesn't feel safe going out to see live music, late at night, then that has ripple effects through the community, right? And health, employment, property, family, and social ability. And there's other things in here that are important that aren't listed, but we can have a conversation about this. So love and belonging, friendship, family, intimacy, sense of connection. And then, different people are in different levels here, I think, right? And different needs, especially from a financial perspective. If they're living paycheck to paycheck and, can't afford a $400 expense or something like that, these needs aren't necessarily being met, right? So self-esteem, confidence, and I guess I want your opinion on, these are different layers. If you don't have to fulfill this one layer, there are certain things that you won't be able to fulfill the higher levels, basically, is I think what he's saying here. Have you guys seen this before?
Yeah, first time.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I have. Well, remember me, I'm a psych major out of college.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the psychological, the physiological needs is, if people don't have those, nothing else works. Absolutely nothing works. The pyramid works from the bottom up.
Right. And so do you have to solidify the other layers before you can get into that purple layer of self-actualization?
Exactly. You have to satisfy them all. And lots of times when people are smart HR people use this chart when they go to hire somebody.
Yeah.
And they analyze, where that person's at and what they need to make sure they stay around.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this, Michelle? Do you have any thoughts on this? I mean, since you mentioned that you didn't feel safe going out late to go see music and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think one, it's too bad that shows have gotten more expensive to go to, which is understandable. People need to get paid for what they do. And I think as a female, when I said I didn't feel safe going out all the time, if I'm going out alone, now I need to take an Uber there and an Uber back to get dropped off at the front door. And it just makes it a little harder to go out if, there's that expense on top of the shows becoming more expensive. But so I've just become a little bit more particular about what I do. But the not feeling safe, I think there's so much, I don't know if I'm the only one.
No, I know that you're not. I mean, especially with women in general going out in public and putting themselves out there. You hear on the news that crime has gone down, violent crime has gone down, and that type of thing. But I think women are more vulnerable to this type of thing. But I just brought it up as subject matter that maybe would spawn some conversation here and stuff, so.
If I could interject something,
Sure.
I've seen it happen where we were speaking earlier about the trends in the news media. Okay, the what is it? The commercial television, the WCCOs, the KSTP, they do a 2-minute story, and they don't get deep. Now, they also are governed by the FCC, and I have witnessed myself in New York where I was a cameraman at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning. There would be a parade of black vehicles, and I'm not making this up. I've seen it several times. Go to the broadcast center, close off the streets, and go down the executive row to have a conversation. So somebody in the government is telling the mass media what they should or should not be putting out. Then you have, like on Facebook, if there's crime, like 3rd, 5th precinct, 4th precinct, crime
Thanks for coming.
pages, and they are, to a certain extent, there's a lot of people that come on there and they talk about what's really happening in the crime, as opposed to the city officials claiming that everything's rosy and it's vibrant. That's a key word, is vibrant. It's not vibrant.
Right.
It is dangerous. I don't feel safe a lot of times, even as a male, in the daytime in certain areas of the city.
Yeah.
Not all areas, but we're all vulnerable. And to your point of continuing the process of talking and understanding is gone.
Right.
We don't have that information any longer in the public. And we're all in too many jobs at one time, doing too many, trying to take care of our families, working too many jobs. We don't get information. I'm amazed how many people get their news information from TikTok
Sure.
today, and they can't do long formats such as PBS NewsHour, which does in-depth reporting. I think they're one of the last ones.
But they're doing Joe Rogan for 3 hours.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know if that holds water. I mean, 55 million people are doing Joe Rogan.
Should we switch over to the?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not sure, what, yeah, I mean, these are conversations that, I want to have more, what are the positive aspects? What's the silver lining of the things that are happening? And I think that, the streaming video, and as the technology has matured, the medium has changed, right? And the thing that I always grapple with is, how do you know what is true, right? Because, you used to have, and it kind of scares me that you said that, CBS and stuff like that. In New York, you're seeing the government limousines come in to NBC or CBS and then, saying, you need to do this. I mean,
We
that
don't know
was,
what they're talking about, but they're definitely,
well,
government officials that are,
but this goes to the crux of, what, the fake news, right?
right.
If the government, if what you're saying is true, the government is doing, telling NBC and CBS and the big networks what to say.
Well, and they get together themselves as well.
Sure.
Don't,
It's corporate media, right? And
Right.
so it's about delivering eyeballs and making money.
there are only
It's all
6
about the money.
corporations that own about 80% of the
Okay.
network media.
So now what you have in common here is with all of these people saying that the media is rigged, right?
To an extent,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's legitimacy to that.
I believe so. I
Yeah,
lived it.
Okay. So is podcasting and streaming video where, we can do what we're doing here right now, part of the solution to that
It could be.
issue?
However, how many viewers are there now?
Well,
And how
this
do we
is,
get that message out?
this is our first time.
No,
and
no,
like I
I'm
said, I
just-
marketed it this afternoon.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that there is an avalanche. It's, what is that term? David and Goliath.
Yeah.
And you have.
There's David and
you know,
Goliath, yeah.
Who's David? Is Goliath the big guy?
Yeah, Goliath was
Yeah.
the big guy.
Yeah, we
David
have-
was the small guy.
We have Goliath coming in to
Yeah.
our lives.
Well,
in
there's a
major
lot of
way.
Goliaths, right?
Yeah.
But, and maybe I shouldn't have brought this up, but, I'm just thinking about different subject matter that we could talk about. And I guess this is the thing that I'm struggling about with, the technology. I know how to put all this stuff together, but it's like, what is it that we want to talk about when we're having these conversations, right? And maybe it's about music, maybe it's about art. Maybe I don't want to be about politics because there's so many places that are about politics.
There are, but they're
And,
intertwined as well. So
pardon?
I think you can touch on it a little bit if
And
you
we,
have
and we
rational
have,
discussion.
and we have. Yeah, I think we should be, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, we should have it more, I'll make it more structured next time, right? So we have more.
How about making a poll
presentation. I can do a poll.
with questions and say, what type of content would you like to
Yeah,
speak
well, I've
about?
asked people to kind of type that in, but there's nobody online right now.
Well, get on.
And we have a couple generous people that zoomed in, but I think we'll get more traction every Monday. It'll get more traction. So this is the first time that we've done this whole interactive thing.
It's a great step.
So, yeah, I think so too. So with that said, though, I think it's 7:30. I don't think anybody else is going to be showing up.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah. So I think John and Michelle, thanks so much for coming. I think we're going to wind this down, unless you guys have something you want to say. I don't know if you do.
Well, I did a,
Go here for a minute.
an analysis of podcasts and how it boiled down to the individual markets, and I can't find it. I was just out looking for it.
Yeah.
But I think where podcasts and the online services have gained on broadcast is the fact that it's not appointment viewing. You can log into these things anytime and then get the whole show. You don't have to listen to it live.
Right.
And the broadcasters and the network people, Paramount Plus and all the other things, I mean, they've gotten wise to that whole deal. They're going to start streaming. They're offering up all their stuff on demand also.
Yeah.
Like boxing.
Yeah, right.
65 million people watched this boxing match Friday.
Yeah.
What?
65 million on a streaming service.
Yeah, and it crashed.
Just when you thought that, just when you realize that 51% of the American populace is an absolute idiot, then you get 25 million people that watch an event like that. It's like I need to check out. I don't know where to go. I got to go somewhere where nobody else is around.
It was 65 million, John, not 25 million.
65 million.
Whatever.
More
think that
people
was-
than voted than either, well, I guess there
That
were
was,
70.
that was a global accounting, I believe.
It was probably a global account, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
And they made a ton of money.
He lost and he walked away with 20 million.
20 million isn't what it used to
I'll fight you, man. For 20 million.
be. Okay.
I'll kill
And
you.
the geriatric ward.
All right. Well, John, thanks for coming. The technology's not working too bad. This is something that I
You have
think
to
will
figure
have a
out
lot
a
of
way of
applications.
putting, on the, if somebody finds you on Facebook,
Yeah.
that title across the bottom should not crawl. Because it's like, oh, now I gotta write down the meeting number and the password to join on the Zoom thing. You should just have the super up and let it sit there. So it's
Oh,
easy to
okay.
do.
Yeah, I can do that. It's also in the notes and the invite and stuff like that too. But
I don't think I got invited.
I just showed up.
yeah, I don't know if I invited you or not, but like I said, I did it this afternoon, so.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, John, and thank you, John.
Thanks, Michelle.
Both Johns.
John.
Thanks,
Stuart.
Michelle's no longer here, but
Oh.
that's okay.
All right.
And we have nobody online, so I'm gonna end these videos.
See ya.
Good night.
Thank you.
And
Good night.
good luck. And good luck.
And. Okay. We can end the Zoom.